Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Samin from Daastan and you're watching me again today. Today we have two very amazing guests with us, Miss Asma Iram, who is a teacher at Namal University and a published author with Rhizomatic Literaties. Second up, we have Miss Anam Sajid, who is also a teacher at Punjab University and is one of the founding members of the Rhizomatic Literaties publication. We'll talk to them about publishing and how publishing has evolved in Pakistan, how the literary space is growing. I welcome you both, Ms. Asma and Ms. Anam.
Thank you
Um,
so much. Thank you. Thank you
yeah,
so much for
so
having
Anam,
us.
no. So Anam, I would like to start with you. Why don't you tell us a little about rhizomatic literaties, and then we'll move to Ms. Asma.
Okay. Rhizomatic Literaties. It's basically how it all. Let me start with how it all started. When we were students at university, we had to do a lot of creative writing classes or study skill classes, but there was no end result to which we were working towards. Right? There was no goal. What happened was it is discouraging in a way when you work so hard, but then what happens is you get a few marks and then जी फेंक दो इसको जो मर्जी कर लो आप इसके साथ. What happened was when I was given the same class to teach at NAM, story writing classes, literary classes, or whatever the subject is, I thought about giving them an end result, a goal towards which they were working towards. So this idea about publishing came into my mind when I published my own story with Daastan, and then Umar became a good friend. So I talked to him a little bit about it, and he said he was very encouraging, and he said, "Okay, why not? Can give it a try." Rhizomatic Literaties team is comprised of, or how it all started was with two of my students, Wajiha Jamil and Fazila Zubair. They were both in my classes. I was teaching them. They have great potential, those girls. What happened was I took them together. I discussed this idea with them, and they were really excited. And they said, okay, fine, we can work it out." We started this project in our own niche. That was National University of Modern Languages. It was just that we sent out a text message and we were not even hoping for 5 to 6 replies. What happened was we got more than 80 replies, and the people were really excited. They were saying, "Hey, we want to get published. We want to get published. We have potential to get published." We asked them, "Okay, now we had a limit of 100 pages. Budget bhi to
Right.
dekhna tha na. We had to keep it in our own limitations." So what we
Yes.
did was we said we are going to select 10 stories of 2,000 words each. So you can just all send in your submissions and we'll see what we can do about it. We sent out a few guidelines according to which they have to comprise their story. We got beautiful stories. Some were a bit weak, some were very well written, well versed, but the end result was we ended up getting 10 gems that we then worked on, edited, and turned into the first volume of Rhizomatic Literaties. Uh, Unfortunately, I don't have my book with me right now, but the point is that was the first volume that we worked on. So we published 100 copies and they sold like hotcakes. Each and every book went out. I'm thinking of, republishing. I was talking to Umar just today. I want to, get another batch out of both the books. Alhamdulillah, we had a very good reception. Then what happened
Mhm.
was, after we had then Umar helped us to have a book launch, like two book launches, not just one. One was in Plan 9 and the other was at Comsats University. They were really, really welcoming and appreciative towards our initiative. So then what happened was when you get such a encouraging response, you want to
Yes.
move forward. Another
Exactly.
thing comes into play when you are working in at a university. If your peers do not support your idea, if they frown upon it, that's really heart wrenching. But I'm really fortunate to have peers like Miss Asma, Miss Sophia, my HOD, RD, Namal, all of these people. They were really encouraging. So we are still waiting on a Namal launch because COVID hit and everything went, pandemic and all.
Yes.
But
And
the
Namal
thing
is
is,
still waiting for
uh,
you.
I Yes, alhamdulillah. But that's the thing, na. They were there for me. Miss Asma, wanted to publish her own story, her own poem in my project. It is just a student venture, but this is the beauty of a project. Like we were talking about today's topic, agar dekha jaye, democratizing new voices in literature. These are something that is this is something that is unique. Miss Asma brought her project with the students. It's like एक ही
Hmm.
सफ में खड़े हो गए मुल्ला और अयाज. So this is what is
Yes.
happening here. Miss Asma brought her experience, because she can tell you like way better about the procedure that she went through. And then the same process we went with we like the same process we took, sorry, for the second volume we did the same process. This is what I was trying
Right,
to say.
right. Yeah.
That and this is what came into being, this second book.
Wow.
It was we made it more specific. Yes, for the first
Hmm.
volume it was just stories from Pakistan. For this
Right.
volume we thought to give it a theme, to make it more female centered. Why was that? Because last year, what happened was, before this book came out, Aurat March hit another low. Sometimes, like, something happened that people were really controversial about it. There was some good remarks, some were very bad, like some very negative response we got about it. So what we thought was, let's see what women around us that we are familiar with think about this word aurat. People say
Right.
कि अच्छा एक और मजे की बात, why we titled it औरत was in Urdu, like औरत is, whenever we hear about mard or anything else, it is really empowering, right? A
Yes.
masculine thing. But whenever we even girls, we you will never shy away from being called a girl or a woman. You take pride in it. लेकिन अगर कोई हमें कहता है ये औरतों वाली हरकतें ना करो, क्या
Yeah.
औरत बन के घूम रही हो, like this word has such a negative connotation
Negative.
around it.
Exactly.
It really is. Exactly. Why? It's an Urdu word. It means parda. It means haya. Then why do we criticize this word aurat as an abuse or a slur? What we did was, we wanted to celebrate this narrative of aurat and see what strong, empowering females around us, or the boys or the men in the society, think about this word. Our cover
Right.
comprises of, see, all of these butterflies. ठीक है? They
Yes.
represent the femininity of this aurat. This is what it represents. Now I've, like, Miss Asma can tell you more about the procedure, how she came to know about it.
Yes.
Let's this was all from my side.
Yes.
Yes,
Miss Asma, over to
thank,
you.
yes, thank you, Anam. Actually, I will continue with this very word aurat. That every type of shame, every type of passivity is associated with this word. It is, as Anam is saying, that is used in our society as an abuse. And when Aurat is being empowered, she can bring change. The example is there in front of you, that the three ladies, one teacher,
Definitely.
Anam, two students, Vajiha and Fazila, contributed to that much extent that we are having now the second edition of the book. And it is largely recognized among the literary circles. So
Right. Exactly.
I was unfortunately not the part of the first book. It was the second
The
edition
first
that
one.
I came up. Yes, the Aurat one, this that I'm having with me equally. So the butterflies,
Yeah.
the symbol of liberty, the symbol of purity, the symbol of colorful life, the
Right.
symbol of nature, natural beauty that is present inside a woman. Why she is always tarnished with other words? Why she is being behaved with violence? If she is a butterfly, she must be treated softly, with a gentle touch. She
Definitely.
should not be treated with violent hands at all, whether physically, whether socially, whether professionally. So It happened that
Exactly.
one day Anam rang me and said that, Miss Asma, are you going for a short story or a poem? And I said that I will go for the poem because I personally love to write poetry. Then
Right.
she had the poem. Then Samana, if I'm not wrong, the word Samana was our
Come on.
editor.
Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes,
she added to
yes,
the
yes,
poem a little, and
yes.
then this poem is in front of you. Anam told me that you have to focus on the theme, and that is
All
Aurat.
right.
So I thought of Aurat inside me, outside me, around myself, in my familial domain, in my professional domain, in my classroom, in my parents' house, in my in law's house, in my own house. And
Yes,
then I had
yes.
shaped up a poem that is, as I have earlier told you, that is entitled as Caravan.
Caravan.
So
Yes.
the poem
Yes.
is here. Am I in need of reciting the poem, Anna?
Sure, sure. Please go ahead.
Right.
You you can,
So,
yes, yes, you can talk about now how it differs from the stereotypes that we discuss. At how, on a side note, I when I was given like Pakistani literature to teach in National University, Miss Asma has heard every rant that I could make. I was like, there are so many stereotypes, it needs to change. There is such good material or content we could be working on. What are they producing? And Miss Asma was like, "Hausla rakho, kuch to hoga hi. There are good things as well." And Ms. Asma, do you remember Camilla Shamsi, Salt and Saffron, how we talked about it, how much we
yes,
have discussed these things, and everything
exactly.
that we despise, everything that we despise about the demurity of women, Miss Asma has presented a very unique image that is different from Camilla Shamsi's Salt and Saffron. It's a girl who goes through a journey, but and the most beautiful thing is no poem, our books are in English, but our language is Punjabi and Urdu, right? We are
Yes.
celebrating that as well. She has appropriated the language as well. So this is how she can tell, like she's extremely, the piece is beautiful. So she should read it, please, Miss Asma.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thanks for the appreciation. Right. So here goes the poem Caravan. And the story begins. Nay, life begins. My marital one. हमें ये रिश्ता मंजूर है लड़की नमाजी परहेजगार है I meet Exodus and the journey begins. Nay, misery begins. My familial one. हमें जहेज नहीं चाहिए तियाने ते सदाई लेना I meet limbo and the illusion begins. Nay, disillusionment begins. My religious one. होरे केड़े वजीफे कर दी पंज टाइम कादियां फूका मार दी I meet purgatory and the words begin. Nay, actions begin. My parental one. मां कचज्जी तियां पुत्तां कज्जी I meet paradise and life begins. Nay, tribulations begin. My fulfillment. ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਇੰਨੇ ਮਾਸ਼ਾਅੱਲਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਖੂਨ ਸਾਡੀ ਨਸਲ I meet myself and so the cycle begins. Yes, the real one begins. My cultural one. हमें ये रिश्ता मंजूर है बेटी अपनी सी लगती है I lead caravan. That's all.
Beautiful.
Yes,
It's beautiful. It's enchanting to
it is.
listen to. I'm sure it looks amazing in your hand, and the fact that both of you have the copies of these books right beside you, quite sure how the pride and the happiness that publishing this finally must have brought to you. Which brings
Exactly.
me to my next question. कि what was the journey like publishing the book, and what were the hurdles? Obviously, when you when you you decided upon publishing a book, उससे पहले, publishing isn't really an easy process for new authors. तो उसमें क्या hurdles थे, and how what is the difference between the first volume and the second volume? एक साल के अंदर कितना जो है वो evolve हुई है ये space.
अच्छा, इसके लिए this is Miss Asma can tell her about her own process as an author, but as a creative head of this project, what I can tell you about, पहले we were for the first volume I was really tentative, ठीक है, there was a bit of ज्यादा बाहर से भी नहीं, अपने अंदर से आवाज थी कि इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू बी सक्सेसफुल, एफर्ट जाया हो रही है, लाइक कम ऑन, व्हाई आर वी पुट, इतने काम होते हैं और यू हैव टू वर्क, वी हैव टू गो टू द यूनिवर्सिटी, क्लासेस लेनी है, फिर शाम को फिर बच्चों पे इतना बर्डन डल रहा है, यार अनम देख लो, मतलब इस तरह से हमारे I had a lot of different ideas, varying personalities were, bickering, के जी करो नहीं करो, इस तरह से. देन आफ्टर हर्डल्स की जहां तक बात आई, पब्लिशिंग में कोई हर्डल नहीं आई. उमर was, like I said, he was really supportive. Daastan, he helped me wherever he could. He was a really good friend than a publisher. तो वो हर जगह उसने कहीं ना कहीं सपोर्ट ही किया है. बल्कि उसकी सपोर्ट मैं बताती हूँ. He gave us all of these bookmarks, these beautiful
Yes.
bookmarks. These he gave them as a gift for the second volume. उसने
Yes.
ये दास्तान की तरफ से हमारा गिफ्ट था सेकंड वॉल्यूम के लिए. तो जहां जब बुक लॉन्च हो जाती है ना एक दफा, तो बच्चे भी इनकरेज बहुत ज्यादा हो जाते हैं. अच्छा, like let me tell you something about it. I don't have an Instagram page, I don't have a Facebook page, I stay away from social media of all kinds, ठीक है. It was the first time that we set up a social media page. Fuzila was the one who was, handling it, because she is an expert. बच्चे होते हैं, उन्हें पता होता है इन सारी चीजों के बारे में. तो they were going through about it. अब जो उनसा है, जब we were seeing 80 people, पहली book के बाद 80, 90, 100. Now we have 730 followers after the second book. So the reception was really great. The journey became easier and easier. It was not a civilian effort that I was thinking about कि जी इसका कोई एंड रिजल्ट नहीं है. ब्रिगेडियर अकरम शोड अप. हमारी जो फाइनल बुक लॉन्च थी कोविड से, जो हम लोगों ने मार्च में की, कोविड लाइक हिट करने से पहले, नहीं इस मार्च की थी. तो what happened?
Lockdown.
Yes, before the second lockdown. What happened? It was at the Rangers Club. So Samana, our editor, she was really nice enough to, because her father is a ranger, so she was nice enough to get us that space. Brigadier Akram, ex-RD Namal was there, HOD Namal was there. Everybody. So it was really encouraging to see such a beautiful reception from not only young people who from every walk of life. They turned up as editors, as social media managers, as illustrators. हमारे इस book के अंदर we have beautiful pictures. Miss Asma can show you the picture that the illustration that accompanies her poem. It's really beautiful, and it's done by a 14-year-old. Our book cover is done by a 14-year-old, Mahalaka and Fiza Zubair. So I'm blessed to have such a beautiful team around me who has always been supportive. और फिर कहीं ना कहीं बात आ जाती है about the environment. तो about फिर वही, like आज जब आप लोगों ने वो मुझे पोस्ट बना के भेजी ना कि we have a Facebook live and all that, I posted it on my Instagram page, Rhizomatic वाले पे, और उसके ऊपर I found a beautiful quotation by Maxine Green. He says, education, like democracy, is always incomplete but founded in possibilities. This is what he says. तो जहाँ पे मौका होता है ना, and if you are willing to take it to the next level, opportunities start showing up. And being a lecturer, or agar as if you did nothing for your students na, I don't think that it's worth being a lecturer there. Lecture to sabhi deke chale jati hain. Yes. You come and you leave an impression on the young minds. I think that is something that is that you have accomplished something in your life. So
Definitely. And I'm
now
sure your
let's move on
students
to Miss
must be
Asma.
so,
And
yeah, so lucky to
वो
have
ही बता
found you.
सकते हैं.
Yes, ma'am Asma. Yes.
Yes,
वो
first of all, I would
वो
like
ही
to
बता सकते
start.
हैं.
Exactly, Ji. Uh, First of all, I would like to start with this word democratizing literature. It really sounds as if someone is at the verge of breaking the taboos.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Someone is there
Yes.
to democratizing the voice of women.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
not that this word should not only be associated with the strength, the numbers, that as many will be there on one side, as many will be empowered. No, women
Yes.
less in number, few in strength, can equally bring a positive change.
Definitely.
Democratizing literature is to break the taboos in which the male monarchy is shown. The male
Hmm.
hegemonic attitude is celebrated. We should
Yes.
not celebrate this. Rather,
Yes.
this is the time to democratize literature by empowering women, by
Yes.
emancipating her from the shackles of so called borders at the
Right.
namesake of religion, sometimes at the namesake of haya,
Culture.
at the
Yes.
namesake of parda.
Yes.
So exactly, culture as
Definitely.
well. So the book is here in my hand in order to show the illustration. If I could
Yes.
make it pretty
Yes.
much visible for
This one.
you.
Yes, it's
So
beautiful.
this caravan is led by
A
bright,
woman. Hmm.
a woman.
A woman.
Hmm.
An angel is there. The blessings of God are coming in order to empower the women. Then we have a
Beautiful.
black shadow, the male hegemonic attitude. If you
Hmm.
Yes.
can view it
Yes.
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 towards the bottom, here are the praying hands with a rosary
Hmm.
inside them. That everything is possible if we have the true passion, as well
Hmm.
as if we have the proper blessings from God. Allah ये तो कहता है कि think well, take a
Hmm.
Hmm.
first step and I will reward you. जहाँ
I will
बैठे ही
reward.
पैसे होके रहना है, then what change we can expect?
Exactly.
Right.
बिल्कुल.
Then there will
Exactly.
be an endless train of sufferings, agonies, miseries for
Hmm.
women. She has to
Yes.
Definitely.
take the first step.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
So,
Acha,
Right. So,
another
hmm.
thing that I would like, sorry, Samin,
Yes, yes, yes.
one thing I would like to add to democratizing literature with new voices is
Hmm.
that we seldom hear the voices that matter. जिस
Hmm.
आजकल पब्लिश करना पाकिस्तान में इज नॉट एन इशू. यू हैव द
Yeah.
मनी, आप सेल्फ पब्लिश करा लो, आपके ऊपर
Hmm.
किसी की मेहरबानी है तो ट्रेडिशनली पब्लिश हो जाते हो. ठीक है.
Yeah.
अच्छा, द पॉइंट इज पब्लिश होना इज नॉट एन इशू, बट द
Hmm.
पॉइंट इज द कंटेंट दैट इज बीइंग पब्लिश्ड वो मॉनिटर होना चाहिए. एक
Exactly.
स्टूडेंट है मेरे सामने, जो ये किताब है इसके अंदर अगर 20 कहानियां हैं, ठीक है, 10 शॉर्ट स्टोरीज, 10 पोएम्स
Hmm.
एक्सीलेंटली क्राफ्टेड हैं, ठीक है.
Hmm.
व्हाई कांट दे गेट अ चांस? Why can't they get a
Definitely.
chance to then be responsible for a change in the society? Why
Hmm.
is it always the acknowledged writers of Pakistan? जो कि
Yes.
मजे की बात पाकिस्तान में प्लेस भी नहीं है.
Hmm. Exactly.
ठीक है ना. You are
Yeah.
talking about the misery in Karachi, but nobody is talking about the rivers. Nobody is
Hmm.
talking about the beach. When Ma'am Asma created her poem, ठीक है, it was a rare thing that we see in the literature that is being produced. ठीक
Hmm.
है. Nobody talk. औरत ने हमेशा जो होना है ड्रामा में, शी इज अ गोल्ड डिगिंग पर्सन जो कि किसी के लिए
Yes.
भी कुछ भी कर सकती है. सही है. We all are familiar with what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
सही है. Yeah, she is a simpering, whimpering or a stupid
Yeah.
person who is just
Crying.
looking for exactly. या इतनी डम्ब है कि उसको कॉमिक रिलीफ के लिए यूज किया
हाँ.
गया है.
Yes.
सॉलिड चेंज के लिए जब कोई औरत बोल रही होगी वो हमेशा या तो प्रोस्टिट्यूट होगी या वो
बदतमीज
हमेशा
होगी. She will
हाँ,
be
विलन
tagged with
होगी,
the word.
बदतमीज,
Yeah.
इररिस्पेक्टेबल, ठीक है, इस
Yes.
तरह से इसके बात करेंगे। वो मॉडलिंग एजेंसी में होगी, वाई, क्यों अच्छी लड़कियां मॉडलिंग में क्यों नहीं जा सकती भाई?
हाँ.
अगर देखा जाए, शी इज अ डॉक्टर, जो इंडिया की वो बनी थी मानुषी चिल्लर, शी वॉज अ
Yes.
डॉक्टर एंड शी वन मिस वर्ल्ड, राइट, मिस वर्ल्ड बनी थी
Yeah.
वो। तो क्या उसके घर की पेरेंटिंग, मोमिना मुस्तहसिन जौनसी है, उसके फादर
जी.
नेवी में है, उसके भाई नेवी, लाइक अगर वो सिंगर है तो व्हाट, शी हैज अ बैड, जितना ज्यादा एसोसिएशन है ये स्टीरियोटाइप्स से,
Connotation बन गई. Yes.
बहुत ज्यादा। मैंने इस प्रोजेक्ट के थ्रू सबसे पहला काम ये सोचा था कि स्टीरियोटाइपिंग नहीं होगी, विल टॉक अबाउट आवर मदर्स एंड सिस्टर्स और फादर्स एंड ब्रदर्स, जो हमारे पिलर हैं, जो अब्यूसिव नहीं है।
Hmm.
एंड मिस आसमा के साथ साथ इतनी प्यारी प्यारी और पोएम्स हैं। देयर इज अ बॉय अजीज ताहिर, ही वाज माय स्टूडेंट एज वेल, उसकी पोएम है वो, उसने फ्लावरी लैंग्वेज, वो एलिजाबेथन एरा की ब्लैंक वर्ड्स लेके आयम्बिक पेंटामीटर में, लाइक ही हैज क्रिएटेड अ ब्यूटीफुल इमेज ऑफ अ वुमन। So a
Right.
boy can be that sensitive when he's creating a piece. So how much change can there, how much change can be in a society अगर हर कोई अपना इस तरह से honest opinion देना शुरू हो जाए तो?
Definitely.
This
Or
is what
we
I
had
think.
we had a session on children's literature a few days back. We were also discussing कि why isn't Urdu evolving? वही उर्दू की जो किताबें होती हैं, स्टोरीज होती हैं,
हाँ,
उसमें वही लैंग्वेज यूज कर रहे हैं, आदाब और इस तरह के जो हम यूज नहीं
बिल्कुल,
करते। और
बिल्कुल,
इसी तरह
बिल्कुल।
से हमारा पाकिस्तानी लिटरेचर भी, आर लैंग्वेज इज सो, इट्स नॉट उर्दू, इट्स नॉट
Stagnant.
इंग्लिश, इट,
Hmm.
हाँ। तो
It's
हमारी
stagnant.
तो एग्जैक्टली तो वो जो एक मेन स्ट्रीम ऑथर्स उसी चीज़ को बार बार से सर्कल आउट करके ला रहे हैं। आई थिंक मिस असमा's पोएम इज अ ग्रेट एग्जाम्पल ऑफ द वे यहाँ पे लैंग्वेज इवॉल्व हो रही है, एंड दिस
Yes,
इज द लैंग्वेज दैट वी यूज। और हमारा कल्चर भी यही है कि एक लफ्ज़
बिल्कुल,
पंजाबी से, एक उर्दू से, एक अंग्रेजी से पकड़ के हम
बिल्कुल।
ऐसे बात करते हैं, और लिटरेचर शुड रिफ्लेक्ट दैट। तो
It
the
should.
authenticity, yeah, the authenticity that Miss Asma's poem, I'm really inspired by the poem, by the way. So हाँ, वो जो एक
Thank
Yes,
you.
it is
authenticity
great.
है, yeah, वो इसमें reflect होनी बनती है। So my last
बिल्कुल।
question to both of you is, where is this heading? What is the next project? And tell us about, is there volume 3 coming soon?
पहले तो मिस आसमा, do you plan on publishing another piece of writing?
Why not? And
See,
towards my concluding remarks, I would like to say that being a teacher, it should be a contribution of a teacher to create the creative urge among the students.
yes,
If a
exactly.
Definitely.
teacher fails to create this creative urge among the students, then he should not be called as a successful teacher. So we will
Exactly.
keep on encouraging our students to
Student,
keep
inshallah.
writing, our colleagues
Inshallah.
Hopefully,
to keep
yes.
writing, to keep
Inshallah.
bringing us the new material with us, and definitely we will be moving towards the 100 edition of
Inshallah, inshallah,
Inshallah.
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 Yes.
As far as you ask, there is a third volume. Inshallah, there is going to be a third volume. There are going to be many more, inshallah. But what I'm thinking about now is a future plan. May you guys can give me ideas. I'm looking for ideas for that. But the point is, seeing the pandemic, seeing COVID, and the uncertain times that are upon us, these physical copies sometimes are way too expensive for people to buy.
Yes.
ठीक है,
Yes.
तो what I was thinking was digitalizing everything. It will not only be accessible, but
Hmm.
it would also be, more encouraging for people to read
Yes,
and to
exactly.
publish more. क्योंकि
Hmm.
अगर हमारी अगर देखा जाए, the fee that we take is like 3,000 to 4,000 के दरमियान में, ठीक है।
Hmm.
This is editor fee or book cover or design और उसके अंदर publishing,
Yes.
everything, it covers the entire cost. जी 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 जी।
Annam, I would like to disagree a little that people like me from old generation cannot afford the Googles all the time around their eyes. We
Yeah,
need the hard
and
copies always because
yes,
we are
yes,
not digitally friendly.
exactly. I can understand, Miss Asma. Exactly, I can understand. We can get a PDF. They can get a printout. Yes, I
Yeah,
know. Holding a book in your hand is another
the
experience, but
satisfaction is a
Yeah,
it is.
satisfaction.
definitely.
It is. It is. But then a 500 rupee book sometimes becomes way too hefty a price to pay. maybe we can come up with
These are,
some.
Adam, these are the priorities, because our generation eats up a burger of
Yes,
1,000 rupees,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
I
I
get it.
cannot spend the
I
500
No,
rupees
but I
for
do
one.
exactly.
understand where Anam is coming from. A lot of people will have access to it, especially from our generation who are used to
Yes.
studying or reading books
On
online.
a Kindle or an
Yeah, so
e-pad that's
open
more
to,
accessible for them.
yeah,
Huh.
you should be
And
open to,
another
both options.
open to both things.
Yeah,
Yes,
So maybe we can come up with a happy medium for the people who want to get a physical copy. They can pay for it in a way,
yeah,
and for those who are not willing, they can get an ebook. Like for them, the stories can be digitalized. For the others, we
hmm.
can get selectively a lot published. We can't get a
Yeah,
bulk then, because
yeah,
this is what I'm thinking. So, inshallah ta'ala, there will be a third volume. Soon we'll open up.
inshallah.
Ek dafa sab kuch settles down na, then we are thinking
Yeah,
about it, inshallah
right.
ta'ala.
I'm really excited about the third volume, and I hope please
Thank
stay
you so much.
connected with me. I want to be the first one knowing about
Inshallah.
the third volume,
Inshallah.
and I'm
Inshallah.
I'm,
Inshallah.
I'm looking forward to Miss Asma's poems, and I hope
thank
the
you.
COVID
See?
situation settles down as soon as
Inshallah.
possible, and we move back, to our normal activity. It was
Ameen.
really great
Ameen.
talking to both of you, Anam and Miss Asma. I
Thank
look
you.
forward to staying connected with you. बहुत मज़ा है आपसे
Inshallah.
बात करके. हमारी audience को भी
Same here.
obviously, Dastan's audience is mostly writers and readers, so उनको भी बहुत
Yes.
inspire करेगी definitely your journey of rhizomatic literaties and publishing and democratizing, this literary space. So it
Inshallah.
was really nice talking to you, and thank you so much for taking out the time for this. I
Thank you
had
so
a
much
lot of
for
fun.
inviting us. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you for
inviting us.
inviting us.
No,
Thank you
Exactly.
so much.
my pleasure.
Thank
With
you.
that, I would bid farewell and Allah
Thank
Hafiz.
you. Allah
Allah
Hafiz. Allah
Hafiz.
Hafiz.
Allah
Allah.
Hafiz.